Hi Leo, I hope you guys are doing great today. Let's get right into things. We're going to start with a yes-no spread for you guys. This is going to be for the first week of September. And the yes-no spreads, like everything else, these are general messages, guys. So take what resonates, throw out the rest. Don't try to make it fit if it doesn't. It might not be a reading this time, sometimes it goes like that. You definitely check your rising sun, moon sign, and Venus. So right now, try to relax best you can. Couple of deep belly breaths, relax your shoulders, and think about one question that would require a yes, no, or maybe answer kind of thing. Make sure it's a closed-ended question. And we're going to pull a few cards for the yes, no. Focus on the shuffling. The little key here is that you're going to ask one question the same way 3 times. One question, same question, the same way 3 times. Focus on the cards. I'm shuffling. Let's get right into this. I don't honor reversals with these. Let's pull card number 1, 3 of Wands. That's definitely a yes. Card number 2, Judgment. Very nice. That would be a second yes. Card number 3, Death card would be a no. So we have 2 ones and no yeses, which means that 1 yes and 1 no and 2 yeses. I can't speak. Which means yes, but not yet. It means that something needs to be figured out, worked through. Something needs to happen first before whatever it is that you're asking about can come to fruition. So we have the 3 of Wands, which is a really fabulous energy. It's a quick moving energy. It's about being called on a new path, this could be a job offer, getting a phone call about a job offer, some sort of a financial opportunity, a relationship, somebody declaring their love for you, and you getting on a new path with them. This does indicate a new path though, right? The 3 of Wands energy is definitely a new path. It's Sun in Aries, right? And Aries is about a fresh path, a new perspective. The Judgment energy is about making a decision about the past and making the decision to forgive. Recognizing that you did the best that you knew how in that situation, whatever it was, whether it was that relationship, that job, that family connection, whatever it is, whatever it was, you did the best that you knew how. Everyone did the best that they knew how. And the whole point here is so that transformation can happen so you can move forward. It really is more about self-love here than anything else. It does not mean forgiveness and go back to something that was toxic and not healthy for you. It's just about recognizing that the toothpaste is out of the tube. There's nothing that can be done about what already took place in the past. And it's about really focusing more on the transformation of something. And it could just simply be into a new cycle and into the next part of your life. Doesn't necessarily have to be with that person in that job. It's going to be a little different for each of you. But then we do have the Death card, which would indicate, and this is a Pluto energy, right? Because this is Scorpio. And Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. So we have 2 real heavy transformation energies going on here. Now, the Death energy does mean that something ended so that something else can be begun. Now, it can be a new cycle within that job, within that relationship, whatever it is, but the transformation needs to happen, which means that whatever was going on, Leo, cannot continue in the way that it was. There's just no way. There's just no way. There's newness here and transformation. So yeah, and I love the 3 of Wands because, and I feel like you guys get the 3 of Wands a lot because I feel like I've been saying it a lot for you guys. I do. Where it's like this appreciation in front of you that's pulling you forward, feeling pulled forward onto a path that's calling you. Wow, yeah. I mean, look at this, the Empress and the 8 of Wands, fabulous. And we have the Justice and the Knight of Cups to clarify the Judgment energy. Then for the Death, we have the 7 of Wands. Okay, that makes sense. And the Chariot, moving away from toxicity. Leo, I mean, this is what it's about right here. It is. And listen, we do have the full moon in Pisces on the 2nd of September, right? And what is the full moon in Pisces all about, right? That moon it's tightly approaching Neptune. Things are going to come to light and culmination, and things can be very illusory, right? Because of Neptune. Neptune is like that. It's like trying to look at reality through a really dirty window. This is all happening for you guys in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house of transformation. It's Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. It's all about the 8th house. Let me just say briefly what the 8th house is, because it's kind of big. It's a big house. It's how you meet endings and beginnings. It's also your partner's money. How you show up, most importantly to me, is how you show up with the other. So basically, it's like when you're in a relationship, how do you show up as the second part of that unit? With your money, with your communication skills, with your ability and capacity to have healthy intimacy. Do you know what I mean? All of that. It also has to do with resources that are made through not your own blood, sweat, and tears, like passive income. So it would be through investments, insurance payouts, inheritance, that kind of thing. Simply your partner's money as well. Now, that when I say partner, this could indicate a romantic partner, typically, but it can also be how you show up in partnership when it comes to business as well, and how willing are you to share resources and handle things in a healthy way in that way. All right, so it's all of that. It is also intimacy. It's not the act of sex, but it's the soul connection that we have with sex. It also has to do with it has a lot to do with your belief system as well, right? And how do you think things are supposed to be? So we have a lot of transformation in this area going on for you, not only in the cards right here, but a lot of things are going to become very, very illuminated. Now, I'm going to say, right, the second is when we're having the full moon, but a lot of you guys might be feeling it already. You might have been feeling it like the week or two leading up to this energy. Now, at the same time, we do have Mars going retrograde in your 9th house of belief systems, right? Now, that's not happening until the next week, until September 9th. So I'm going to be talking about that more when we discuss the astrology. But it's something to be mindful of as we kind of work our way through this reading, is that you're going to be feeling the pre-shadow for that. The shadow before it goes retrograde, the pre-retrograde shadow, we feel it. I mean, we could actually feel that up to a month before, whereas there's this sense of restriction and being able to move forward in, having to do with your beliefs and being able to execute something according to your beliefs. But we do have this full moon, which is going to be illuminating and bringing something to the forefront for you to look at and see, having to do with how are things in this space where you share things with somebody else. Are things equitable? Do you like how you feel? Do you feel loved? Are you able to give yourself in the way that maybe you need to, but maybe you don't feel it anymore? It's going to be different for each of you. But it has to do with all of those things. So we have the Empress energy, we have the Eight of Wands. These are two really good energies to clarify the Three of Wands, because the Empress is a Venus energy. And this is all about growth, right? I mean, this is the mother of the tarot. She's perpetually pregnant, planting the seed, cultivating it and nurturing it and really bringing it to that next space. This is about, how you connect to your roots, to your home. Ooh, dropping my crystals here. How you connect to your roots, to your home, right? All of those things. So we have that with the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is one of the best minor arcanas. It really is. This indicates a message coming in that is really positive, and it could come in via any method: snail mail, phone call, text, email, somebody commenting on your page in social media, anything like that. But when it comes in, it's going to be really, really positive for you. So this could be like the thing that you needed to pull you forward into that job, forward into a new relationship, out of an old relationship. There's movement here, guys. Look at these horses, right? There's movement. This is fast. This is, I would almost say, like, this is almost a frenetic energy where you sort of almost feels like like a last minute trying to figure out how are you going to get something done, because you need to make changes in your immediate life. Quick changes going on. But we have the Empress here. I mean, that's amazing. This is really good. This is really, really good. Clarifying the Judgment energy. Lots of change here. Whatever's changing, it's all about fair. It's about fair. And then we have the Knight of Cups energy. So listen, if you're in a relationship that you're moving out of, you're just forgiving whatever happened before, knowing you showed up the best way that you knew how. You are just focused on your relationship sector. You're focused on being treated fairly, treating somebody else fairly, having things be equitable, feeling loved, being able to love somebody else. This is if it has to do with relationship. And for many of you, it means meeting somebody entirely new. The Knight of Cups energy can be somebody who's just brand spanking new. It's Aquarius and Pisces. So Aquarius is different than Aquarius is all about out of the box and all about moving into the future, but in a unique way, in a different way, in a way that you haven't done before. And Pisces is about going towards your dream, right? I mean, that's really how we connect these. So this Knight of Cups energy can be somebody showing up very different than your usual type. This could also be for many of you, if this is a relationship that is not ending, because it would be silly to say that all Leos are like ending a relationship, and it's not ending, but it's happening in a different way. Where for some of you, the Empress can quite literally mean becoming pregnant, you getting this news and things popping very quickly in a different direction, where if things were weird for you guys are forgiving whatever happened in the past. We're looking at equitable situation, who's going to show up in what way, who's responsible for what, and things are just going to be handled differently. Like your relationship is going to get sort of like a tweaking and up, a leveling up kind of thing is certainly what can be happening here as well with this. It's going to be happening differently, right? Because we have Aquarius here. Aquarius is very focused on the future and doing things differently, not the same way. And we have this energy of transformation, but in that is also this idea of forgiveness. So that's how I see the relationships rolling out. For others of you, this is somebody, you're meeting somebody brand new that you're going to just be able to grow with. And this person can come through via like social media. Somebody like, I have these feelings for you, and all of a sudden, boom, you're just moving. You start transforming like super quickly. And I like this because whatever energy is coming in is equitable, right? We like the justice energy. It's the 7th house. It's the relationship house, but it's equitable. Now, if this has nothing to do with relationship and this has to do with a job, information about a job coming in, the 8 of Wands often shows up as a job offer or, getting some sort of information about some sort of resources available to you, something having to do with finances, something having to do with money, but it's going to allow you to grow. Whatever's coming in is going to allow you to level yourself up, which is really good because that's what's necessary to allow the transformation. And this is good because I feel like whatever's gone on up to this point in your career, in your job, whatever it is that you're involved in as far as resources and making money, there's going to be all around forgiveness. And like, look, whatever happened. However things rolled out is how they had to roll out when they rolled out. Everybody was working with the tools in their toolbox. There's nothing we can do about that. But now it's time for me to do something different. So in order to do something different, there needs to be a death. You can't have transformation without a death. It's impossible. So the death card gets a bit of a bad rap. It does because it looks really ominous. But the bottom line is there is a simultaneous beginning with this ending. So if this, whatever you were in, was meant to be rebuilt, it will be. If it was not, it's going to be released. And only you know the answer to that. But whatever is going to be existing here, especially in this energy, guys, I mean, we're in such a karmic season right now. We just really are. At the taping of this, we still have 5 planets going retrograde on the 12th. We are going to have Jupiter coming out of retrograde. We need to give it a couple of weeks to unknot, to bring her gifts, right? But there's the unknotting is really going to start beginning. In September, we're going to start to feel the shift. But we also have Mars going retrograde. It's just going to be a very challenging season. I mean, I did a video on it. You guys could check that out. But whatever's happening here is very karmically driven. It really, really is. So we have the death energy and we have the 7 of Wands and the Chariot. Now, these are 2 very powerful energies to have as clarifiers for the death card, because the 7 of Wands is about needing to draw a line in the sand, having some challenges, obstacles, and struggles with whatever this energy is, whether it's a relationship, a job, whatever it is, but you being like, listen, this is what I want, need, and desire. And somebody saying, well, I don't know if you can have that in this. I don't know if I could allow that. I don't know if I could give that to you. I don't know if this situation is going to be able to bring that. So if they're not able to bring it, you're getting on your Chariot and you're getting the hell out of Dodge, Leo. You just are. The Chariot is about leaving something that's not serving you so that you can be on the path to where you're supposed to be. The Chariot is connected to Cancer, and Cancer is the 4th house energy of roots, of home. Your real home and metaphorical home. Where is it that you're supposed to be? Right? And so this is what's happening. So there's some sort of situation that needs to be worked through if this person is not going to show up for you, right? Because this is Mars and Leo. So Mars is the warrior planet in Leo. When Mars is in Leo, we're talking about egos. There's going to be a little bit of a this is what I need, well, this is what I need. I'm not even going to talk, it's Five of Wands is more of like a battle of the wills. The Seven of Wands is more you standing your ground and somebody not giving you what you need and not being able to provide this for you. Or to you, I should say. So you're very what I'm getting here is whatever situation is going on here, you are all about moving it forward, healing and growing, getting away from the toxicity once and for all, being super focused on that, being really, really focused on that. All right, let's pull a Celtic cross spread. So that was the Crystal Visions Tarot. I've been saying in all my videos, I'm like the worst reader at telling everybody what cards I use. Crystal Vision. And I'm using the Light Seer, my Light Seer Tarots. Tarot deck. It's a beautiful deck. Messages for our Leo brothers and sisters who need a little guidance, who just want to know what is the energy going on this first week in September. Okay, situation right now, King of Swords. Very in the mind, and you're not talking very much. I like we got the stars, the best expected outcome. We have some pain here. Okay, we got pain. We're dealing with some pain. All right. Ace of Wands is you right now. I'm going to pull these closer to the camera. I'll show you each one as I go through them, okay? We get the Lover's energy as the final outcome. And then we have the Death and Rebirth as the near future. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on, Leo? Three of Wands. This is in the recent past. Three of Wands, beautiful. Sun in Aries. Having everything that you need to make something happen, right? Really feeling called in a different direction. Feeling called. Like if you were in a situation that was not, like if you were single and you were just like feeling alone, this is, you know, getting some sort of information, finding out about a job, you know, having somebody approach you for a relationship, meeting new friends, making the decision on your own. If none of those things were at play, to actually just put the trajectory in your life, set that compass in a different direction with a lot more, you know, in a far more deliberate manner. Right, so that you're able to go towards what it is that you really want, because wands are well, and it's passion, it's motivation, but it's a new life. It's a new life. Now, the situation right now, we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is telling you to really focus on your mental, on your, how do I want to say this? Think with your mind and not with your heart right now, because you don't want to be seduced back into something or away from something. You don't want to be scared away from something or scared into something. So stay very much in your mental space with the King of Swords energy. You could trust it. Stay very much in your mental space. Now, we have this working with the moon energy, and the moon is all about I feel and I think, right? It's all about what you're feeling under the surface that you're really not sharing. The only little caveat I always say with the moon energy is you want to just make sure, especially when we have a full moon in Pisces, I have to say, you want to make sure that whatever you're telling yourself is based in reality. Not that you're living in a fantasy world. That's not it at all. But when we have Neptune this tight with the moon, we're all going to have a little bit of a challenge in seeing things really, really clearly, right? None of us want to end up in a fool's paradise right now. And none of us want to end up in a space of escapism right now, right? And you know that, right? You really are trying to approach everything from a very mental perspective. So you want to be careful of not allowing the moon to sort of wash over you and get in the way of you thinking with the clarity that's necessary right now. Now, the best to be achieved is the star, which is great because this is all about the future. This is Aquarius. This is about healing, right? Remember, Aquarius is the water carrier, right? So you're carrying emotions as you're working with it. Even though Aquarius is an air energy, you're not forgetting about your emotions. You're respecting your emotions. You're respecting everything that's gone on, And you're recognizing that change needs to happen in order for you to have a healthy future. You realize that something needs to be released. You're realizing this. Now the foundation here is the Three of Swords. So something is making you feel very, very hurt, Leo. Very hurt. These cards are so powerful, I think. This is one of the most powerful Three of Swords cards, I think, that I own. And I think I own pretty close to, I would say, maybe 100 decks. I don't know if it's just that I resonate with this deck that well, but the Three of Swords is a Saturn and Libra energy. It can mean a third-party situation. Them having a third party, you having a third party, if this has to do with relationship, doesn't have to. Guys, this could come up where any area of pain where you feel betrayed by someone who means a great deal to you. So if this is your significant other and it's not a third party situation, maybe they promised you the world and the stars and they weren't able to deliver it, and it's paining you because they promised you and you thought you mattered more. Or this could be them being grossly irresponsible with money, or struggling with some sort of imbalance or addiction, and you feeling that they don't value the relationship enough to actually address those issues. These are many of the ways that this energy in reality can show up. If this has to do with a business situation, obviously your business partner doing something shady behind your back and then just being like, oh, sorry. But something's coming to light here. That's the thing. With the Three of Swords, if there was betrayal, whatever the pain is, it's being thrown out on the table to be discussed. And that is the one good thing. It's not like anything, it's not being hidden anymore. It's just not. You know, and so in that way, there at least there's a sense of, I'm not even going to say resolve, but at least validation. There's going to be validation going on. And that right here is the foundation energy. Now where you're at right now, you're the Ace of Wands, so you are focused on new. You're focused on passion. Some of you may be very focused on releasing something from your past and focusing on something that you're very passionate about. So if this has to do with a business situation, you're releasing that and you're saying, you know what, I did the best I could. Like, what am I going to do? I did the best I could. I have to focus on the future, right? I mean, we have the star here. So you focus on something that you feel very passionate about, very creative with, something like that, right? I mean, you guys are Leo. You're the landlord of the 5th house. You guys are all about doing something creatively. You guys are creative. You guys are great business owners. You guys are great entrepreneurs. You guys are great lovers, right? You're big-hearted. You know, the 5th house is all about love affairs and romance, boyfriend-girlfriend situations, not marital as much. That's more 7th house. Children. You might be feeling very passionate, right, about having children or something having to do with children, a new start in the life of your children. But there's excitement here. So even though you might be nursing some painful situation, you are allowing yourself to stay focused on some sort of new beginning that is inciting something that feels very passionate in you. So this could be a new relationship. This could be a new job, any sort of new circumstance having to do with a new hobby, something with your kids. But now the energy that's surrounding you is the 5 of Pentacles. So let me give you an example of how this can roll out. Let's say you're married and the marriage is not doing well and you know that it's falling apart because of pain. And you're really focusing on healing and you want to focus on bringing the Ace of Wands to yourself. But you're in this space of lack. Because the 5 of Pentacles can be the energy where it's almost like that sense of bereavement that we feel when something dies, right? It's like an emotional death where there's a sense of disconnect, like your voice isn't really feeling heard, you don't feel very connected. There's pain here, there's pain. And this is your environment. This could just simply mean, for those of you having to do with money, you feeling very passionate about something because right now you're in the space of lack. You just don't have the money. You don't have the money that you know you should have, that you need to have for your life right now. So you're just very focused on new, healing, moving forward, leaving whatever pain, whatever didn't work behind you and focusing on moving forward. Interesting energies, though, to get together. And we have here the King of Wands as your fear. Now, this is in your challenge position, right? This is also your hope. So I often say, like, I feel like our hopes, what we're hoping for and what we're fearing may not happen, are really one and the same. And this is a Cancer and Leo energy. And so, you guys are all about doing something with heart and gusto that is also going to bring you the firm foundation that you're looking for, whether it's getting involved with that person or trying to work out that circumstance within the relationship with that connection, or, taking that chance with that job, whatever it is. It's your hope to be able to do something that's driven by your heart, that's going to incite some sort of firm foundation, but it's also your fear that whatever you're moving into is not going to bring that to you. So it's, you know what I mean? So that's what I mean, where it's one and the same. But the outcome is the Lover's energy. And before you get swept up in what the Lover's energy means, understand that it's the need to make a decision. So if it has to do with a relationship, you need to make a decision once and for all. What's going to happen with this relationship? Are you going to try to heal it? The only way that you can heal it, though, in the Lover's energy is if you're working with somebody who is of exactly the same level of willingness as you. So there's got to be really open communication and compromise going on here. And if you could do it, it's got the blessing of Archangel Raphael, which is really nice, but they have to be in it with you. Or the decision may be that, what, this is not going to work. And I think the most loving thing to do is to actually allow this to end, to love myself. And it's the way of being most loving towards them. So sometimes, guys, and I know many of you aren't going to want to hear this, but sometimes really allowing something to die is really the kindest thing that we can do for a situation when we know we're not able to pull ourselves out of it for one reason or another. Isn't that the craziest thing, right? When we know something isn't working and we know it's far exceeded its expiration date, but we can't quite pull ourselves away from it. Obviously, it depends on what else you have in your chart, right? If you have a lot of Cancer, if you have a little Scorpio in your chart, you may be having even Pisces energy. You may have a harder time pulling yourself away from that energy. But regardless, it is that, okay? For some of you, it's going to be that. For others of you, it's going to be making the decision to really work at it. But recognize that the way it was before can't continue. Can't continue. I mentioned it before, right? Whatever happened cannot continue. Either you're going to, create a new normal and really leave the past in the past, but like for real. And that's not always easy, because our memories are long and wide, right? It's hard. So, but a lot of you are going to be really going for that. Everybody's going to be dealing with this a little differently, right? Lots of Leos out there. So some of you are going to be making the decision to really work at this in a new way so that you can create a new normal that's really far more beautiful, that's going to incite the healing that the star is calling for in the future. For others of you, it's going to be making the decision to just leave something. Because I want you to notice this diagonal. We have the Three of Swords, we have the Death, and we have the Lovers. So we have this decision. What are you going to do? Right? Because if this was like a deep level of disrespect, you have to really ask yourself, are they capable, depending on what happened in the Three Swords energy, to show up with the level of integrity that you're going to require in the Lover's energy? And again, only you're going to know that. But it's something to really kind of get in touch with. But there's a new beginning here for you, Leo. I mean, we say this in this community a lot, but I seriously mean it. Like, there is so much happening in your belief system. Your belief system is changing. And it's changing from the inside out, not from the outside in. You're changing. And you're going to be realizing that your external environment is not resonating with your internal self anymore. And the reason I'm saying that is because Mars is going to be retrograde. And whenever we deal with retrograde energies, we go in and then we create change in the out. So whatever you're in may have worked for you 6 months ago. It's not working for you anymore. Even, Yeah. Okay. So let's go into the last part of the reading. Let's pull some Lenormand. Pull some Lenormand and some Astro cards. Let's see what we got. Moving on. What's being cut out? Interesting. Okay, let's see. Second time I got these two together. Wow. Wow. We got 3 basically mask energies in a row. Duplicity, duplicity, duplicity. The fox, the snake, and the mask. What? Okay. Wow. Yeah. You got to look at something closer, Leo. For some of you, for career, this indicates like literally going on a business trip. It's where you're literally packing a bag, though. So that could be for a job. For others of you, you're literally packing your bags and you're getting out of Dodge, right? Now we have somebody who's, this is very interesting. This is interesting because this indicates you leaving, and then we have the patient man. I call this kind of the patient guy, the patient man, because there are 2 men, and the other one is more of an assertive Mars energy. This guy's very patiently waiting and looking at you packing your bags. Then we have the scathe, and we have to always look at where is the tip of the scathe pointing at, and it's pointing at choice. What's being cut out is your choice. Right? And you're looking at this. So you're realizing, like right now, you feel like you don't have a choice, Leo. I feel like there's something that's going on in your life that you feel really stuck in right now. Now, this could be a mindset energetically where you just can't wash somebody off your soul, or you can't leave that job, or you can't leave that relationship, that marriage. But what's unsettling to me is like I see this desire to leave, but this person almost passive aggressively, I meant, sitting there watching you pack your bags, realizing that your choices are very limited. And for those of you who are females, you female Leos, this is you being completely aware of that dynamic. It's like somebody has you feeling almost like somebody has you over a barrel, even if it's just energetically. Even if the door is wide open and you're fine to leave, it's like something, it's like, get out of my energy field kind of thing. Now, if you're not a female and you're a male, this is you watching somebody pack up and leave or wanting to change something, but realizing that it's almost like this very karmic connection here. There's this very karmic connection, but then we have the child. So I always connect the child to you guys, right? Not that you guys are children, but because you guys are the landlord of the 5th house, and that's the house of children. Now, this can very directly indicate that somebody can't leave a situation because of children. That would be the most obvious interpretation of this, obviously, right? Where, yeah, you want to pack your bags and go? Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? Your options are very, very limited because of the children. Or your options are very limited because of some property that you own, or some business that you own, or something that you guys have together. Like, where do you think you're going? You're not a free bird kind of energy, okay? For others of you, this can indicate you really wanting to get in touch with your creative self, getting in touch with yourself. You're very focused on getting in touch with your creativity. But this is the thing too. For many of you, this can indicate romance. So you're looking at your lack of options here. So some of you may be entertaining another energy where there's romance, because the 5th house energy is more about love affairs, even having like an emotional connection, even if you're not doing anything physical. It could be a physical connection, if this is a very unhealthy circumstance where you're sort of going outside this energy, because again, it's love affairs, it's romance, it's the act of sex, right? That is and I hate to associate that with a child, that sounds really weird, but it is the 5th house, right? That is the 5th house, which is you guys, which is, please don't take that the wrong way, God forbid. But this is the thing. Whoever it is that you're very well aware of this sort of stuck situation that you're in, but you need to understand that whatever area you're entertaining yourself in, doesn't matter if you're not with somebody or not. Maybe you're going out with your friends, you're exploring different things, but the thing is, it's like you're doing it to keep yourself busy right now energetically because it's not real. We have the fox. The fox is looking back at the kid here. So this means that, you know, whatever's happening in that fifth house energy, it's very duplicitous. They're saying one thing, they really feel another. It's like with the snake, it's like, no, I really mean this. I really do. And it's just not a trustworthy energy. It's really, really not. This could be a friend saying that they're there for you. This could be even something really trippy going on with your kids, where there's some sort of duplicitous behavior going on with your children, depending on obviously the age and the station of life that you're at. But when we have the mask is all about playing a role, being in something that you don't really inherently resonate with, but you just having to be in it for now, and you know it's not the right thing for you. Now, for some of you, you guys could be the snake, the fox, and the mask, meaning you know you really can't do anything straight away right now because it looks like your choices for the moment, this is for the first week in September, have been truncated. Your choices right now, for now, it doesn't mean for forever, but for now, you're limited. So you may be just playing the role, doing what you have to do, getting your ducks in a row, because you're very focused on your resources and you're very focused on looking at what you need to do. Looking at very closely at the resources and what you need as far as moving forward and out of this and into something that you feel is healthier for you. Now, all of this could also have to do, obviously, with some sort of business connection, right? Where you feel very trapped in a job. Like right now, you know, the first week of September 2020, you're stuck. You can't move. Maybe because you have to feed your kids, or you need money. You just need money to have a life, right? To be able to do what you want to do in life. So you're showing up and you're just falsely sort of doing what you want to do, getting the job done, doing what you want to do, but it's not really resonating with you. And you're looking very closely on what you need to bring yourself moving forward as far as resources. Because whenever we get the polar bear, we want to think anything that we need. Think about how our mother takes care of us when we're younger. It's anything having to do with resources, anything for sustenance, keeping a roof over our head. What do we need? Getting down to the nuts and bolts of it. So really kind of putting your ducks in a row. Now, if this doesn't have to do with relationship, this can certainly have to do with a job where the choices are kind of limited right now. But just in the beginning of September, that's it. But we're all going to be, this is very much like a hurry up and wait kind of energy. You know, that's the pickle with Mars going retrograde. So we have Virgo. We have the 9th house, right? And this is where Mars is going to be retrograde in your 9th house. And we have Jupiter. You know what? I like this. I like getting Jupiter with Virgo. This is a very pragmatic energy, being very critical. Like we got the magnifying glass. You're going to be looking at things very, very carefully. You're going to be focusing on your belief system and figuring out what is it that you need to do in order to bring yourself the luck and expansion that you need to do. So let's just pull a couple of astro cards. This is from Black Moon. To see what part of your chart you need to be focusing on. You need to be focusing on your Capricorn, your 10th house energies. This is all about work, putting in the work to do something. Right? Capricorn is also ruled by Saturn. Saturn's about restriction and delay. So this is about really figuring out what you can do now, what you can control now that's going to be able to come to fruition later. So really good getting your ducks in a row. Beautiful. And we got Sagittarius. So this is all about really focusing on what you need to do to become independent, really speak to your ethical bone. You know, some of you are going to really be very focused on planning some sort of long distance travel, but it's really digging your heels into a belief system. It really is. And because you're going to have Mars retrograde in this area, you're going to be doing a lot of internal work when it comes to your belief system. Because remember, Sagittarius is the landlord of the 9th house, which is where Mars is going to be retrograde for you. And it's ruled by Jupiter. So this is a really good energy, I feel like. There's going to be a release, because remember, Sagittarius right now is the south node of the moon. So wherever our Sagittarius is being impacted, and for you guys, you're going to have this impact in your ninth house is going to be impacted in this Mars retrograde, you're going to be asked to release and sacrifice something as far as your belief system goes, but to adopt a healthier way or a healthier version or vision for yourself moving forward. But it's all about putting in the work, really paying attention. I like it. I have an earthy vibe about this for you, even though you guys are fire. You know, and Sag is fire too, but I feel like, you know, I love the Capricorn energy here with the Virgo. I think it's really good. But a lot of ninth house stuff. I mean, we have the ninth house and we have Sag. And we have Jupiter, which is the ruler of these guys. So it's a lot about your belief system. Sitting front and center in your life right now. And really tapping into what it is that you really want and need, Leo. Right? It's really time to do that. Okay. That's what I have for you for the first week in September. I hope this was helpful. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.